G'day, mate. How are you?
How you doing? We sorted out the train.
I'm actually still on it. It just keeps stopping and getting delayed. If you want to talk now, we can give it a shot.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, mate. It's a bit quieter than what it was before.
What's that?
It's a little bit quieter than what it was before.
Oh, good.
Now, where was I? Black and white radio was the first thing I heard from you guys, and the thing that really struck me was the lyric content. So many bands are just, come here baby stuff, and the lyric content really grabbed me.
Cheers, thanks.
but that's been a theme through all your stuff, that you're writing very clever and very interesting lyrics. Is that a conscious thing, or is that just coming out?
I think it's a conscious thing. I think, lyrics are terribly important and so often overlooked, especially in this country recently. It's quite unnerving, really. I wonder if these other groups, you can hear these great records that don't really have a lot to say, and I'm not sure if it's because the artists are afraid to say something, or if they have nothing to say in the first place. But they do come across as very mute to me. So that was something I think we wanted to kind of change up and explore. I think with this post at the turn of the century, the post kind of garage rock thing of the Strokes and the White Stripes.
Now arriving at Flinders Street.
It kind of became once again it became all about the attitude, and I think some lyrics kind of by the wayside as a result of that. So it was something we were trying to bring back in.
Yeah, and that works very well, and I totally agree. You've captured the attitude, but you've also taken it an extra step. Like Russian Roulette is another song, Guillotine, that really illustrates that for me.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I mean that was kind of written around when the Arctic Monkeys record and the Mike Skinner record had come out, and everyone was kind of thinking about kind of singing what they saw, and that was kind of our attempt at that particular song.
And I guess most of Australia's heard you guys initially through Triple J. How important that must be a huge boost for just people to get out and hear you, to have Triple J behind you.
Well, that's true. I mean, it's no secret that we own almost everything we have to that radio station, and without those guys we wouldn't have a career. So we're the same. That's my most likely medium to hear new groups through, and so we're very thankful to them, and I think that they do a fabulous job for all their critics.
Oh, they do indeed, and I'm the same as you. Most of the new music I hear, especially Australian new music, comes from those guys. And I'm sure you've been asked this 1,000 times before, Declan, but Harry Vander, how did you end up hooking up with Harry Vander to produce Guillotine and Thieves? Well, he did your first EP as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but we don't really speak of that anymore. Well, just through friends of friends, we were quite lucky. He had just started, he just opened up his own studio and he was looking for some young bands to work with. And the guy he has employed to kind of, look for some bands was friends with our manager at the time. And he came down and saw us, and he thought we were absolute rubbish, but he liked the drummer, and he liked the name, and he liked the fact that we were young. So that was enough, I think.
I like the drummer. Actually, Matt has a powerful style, but not over the top wank, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
I think I do know what you mean. Well, when we first started, and certainly me, Matt, and Will were all kind of learning together, and Nick's a very live, he's very kind of ostentatious, very showy. So I think Matt was just trying to keep up with that with his filming, and it was only more recently, probably around the time of recording the first record. Sorry about that. Probably around the time of recording the first record that he learned to economise,
Actually, if I can just go back to Harry for a moment, I'm not old enough to really remember the Easy Beats, but I grew up with AC/DC and Vander and Young, and they were just God. Did you have any preconceptions of of the status that Harry Vander has in around the world?
I mean, Hey mate.
We try again.
Really sorry.
That's all right, not a problem at all. It'll actually make, when I edit it, it'll make interesting listening, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay, great.
And I didn't get the answer to that question, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Well, I when we found out that we might be working with Harry, Nick was sitting there with open mouth, and I had to take him aside and kind of say, well, who's Harry Vander again? And but since I didn't know at the time, but since then I've gone back and heard all the records he's made and all the records he's produced, and he's a good friend of ours. He's a lovely guy.
He's one of those guys that has a reputation of being able to pull some really good guitar sounds. Was that really important in getting your guitar sounds down on record?
It was important during Thieves, but on the first record we kind of steered away from sounds and being too conscious of that aspect of recording. I think with the first record we just tried to get in and basically do exactly what we do live. Just because we weren't a great band, and we weren't then and we're not really now, but we didn't have much finesse, so we just kind of tried to capture the energy and the vibe on the first record. But certainly with the second one, with Thieves, we were a lot more conscious of getting sounds right and trying different things. So his knowledge and ability to do that came out a lot more. He's very good. His studio has got all that gear there. From the original Easy Beats recordings and live performances.
Now arriving at Christmas. Take here for Almaine, Belgrade, Lilydale, and Glen Waverley.
So we get a guided tour of the Melbourne rail system as well. That's a bargain.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually getting off of this stuff. You'll be very happy to know, and I'm happy as well. I'm sorry about this.
No, not a problem at all, mate.
Aye.
Yeah, and I must admit, listening, I guess listening to Thieves. I guess the first thing that struck me is that you've managed to keep the rawness and keep the power of Guillotine, but it's a much more polished effort. And like you were saying with the first one, you were trying to just capture your live sound, but that really does come across. But a lot of bands sort of lose that too much in their second album. There's too much polish.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did kind of give it as much polish as we were able to, but we just didn't have much of that ability. So I think with this next, if we can make another record, it'll probably be kind of more in the vein of Guillotine. So but yeah, we did as much as we were able, but I suppose it's lucky that we just weren't able to do much.
So and certainly the tunes on there are as strong as ever as the first one. This Dance is Loaded is just a great tune and a big staple for your live set, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a favourite. That song took it sounds it's got that immediacy, but it was actually a real labour to write. It took a long time to come together, and it was kind of a wedding of a lot of different ideas from a lot of different songs, but and a lot of collective influences. But yeah, a great song, and I've got very fond memories of when we first wrote it.
But like you say, it is an immediate. You hear it once and you immediately, you don't have to listen to it again. It's there.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of what we do best in a lot of ways. Is just even when we're just jamming, when we're just banging away at something, we're all kind of just we've got that kind of energy and immediacy. It comes quite naturally to us, and I'm not really sure why that is. But I mean, something like Mona Lisa Overdrive or the Golden Years is probably a lot more of a conscious effort for us. It's something we have to kind of work at.
But that's something with you guys. I've been trying to work out what it is, but even hearing you guys, there's an Australianness about your sound, and I can't really put my finger on it. But all I can really think of it is sort of the garage band Australian. You know, we've learnt to play our instruments, play live sort of thing that most Australian bands have always had.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I agree that it does have that kind of, there is that Australian sound, but like you say, I can't put my finger quite on it. But when we were in the UK recently, I mean, the people there don't realise that we're Australian until we come off and kind of talk to them, or we say we're from Australia. You know, I mean, I think we slot in there quite well. But I mean, there was never, you know, I think any Australianness in our sound is just that. It's just a product of our environment. You know, I don't think it's something we have to work at. You know, it's just the way it comes out, quite obviously. And vice versa. I mean, the British sound is just the sum of the music we listen to and the influences we have, you know, kind of rising to the surface through that Australian filter.
So is the plan to sort of is London and England going to be the first place that you're really going to try and hit?
Yeah, well, I'm not. You know, I think America will come after that, if at all. But yeah, London seems to make a lot of sense for us at the moment. We've been over there a couple of times, and things are starting. The ball, as it seems, is rolling. So we'll keep working away at that, definitely. You know, for the next couple of years. But we don't really have any ambition to kind of get anything happening anywhere else, at least for a while.
I think once people get to hear your stuff, I think it'll all happen by itself.
Fantastic. Well, we hope so. You know, I mean, we're not trying to, you know, we're not going to kind of get the world's biggest deal or anything, or, you know, it's going to be a process of people hearing it and people hearing about it and building up the live way, you know, as opposed to getting $1 million record deal and then having it kind of just shoved in everyone's faces.
Oh, and that's certainly a strength you guys have, that your live show is so strong, and that will hopefully prompt the masses to go out and put their hand in their wallet and do buy the CDs by bucket loads.
Yeah, well, that people don't tend to do that as much as they used to, but still, we will try, and we are trying.
So new recording in the pipeline?
Yeah, well, that's going to start to happen. I mean, as the Thieves shows kind of come to an end, and as the end is fast approaching, there's always kind of, you know, 10 or so new songs floating around. So I mean, that will be the time when we have to kind of start looking at them and start thinking about what we want to do with them. But we're actually, you know, we're out of contract. We don't have a deal at the moment. So as to who's going to record them and in what way, we don't really know. So it's all quite exciting.
See what happens. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, what else can you do?
And you're heading our way. I think is Adelaide the last date on the tour?
It's certainly the last capital city, but I'm not actually sure. Maybe it is. I think it might be the last night of the tour.
So you're 3rd of July at the Gov. So that's a good venue, and you guys should have a great show there indeed. We've
been there before, and we caused a small riot. I'm surprised they asked us to come back. But yeah, that will be the last show of the tour. So it'll be a bit of a holy moment, I presume.
I'm sure the crowd, and I hope to be one of them, will share in that with you.
Great. Well, that's it. That's so.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for having a chat. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Mike, it's a pleasure to talk to you too.
Can I get you to do a quick tag for my show for me?
No problem at all.
My show is called Sitting in a Bar in Adelaide.
Yep.
And if you can do me something along the lines of, this is Declan from British India, and you're listening to blah blah blah.
Yep.
Go for life.
Greetings, listeners. This is Declan from British India. You're listening to Sitting in a Bar in Adelaide. Dig this.
Fantastic, mate. And all the best. And I hope the rest of the tour goes fantastically. And I'll send Jade a copy of the show, and she can forward it on to you.
Great, I'd love to hear it.
All right, all the best, mate. Take care. Thank you again for the chat.
No problem. See you later.
Have a good one. See you, mate.